Hi, I'm Matt Asner.
And I'm Navah Asner.
And we're the founders of the Ed Asner Family Center. And this is your opportunity to get out there and walk because we're having a walk.
So get together with your grandmother and your relatives and join a team or found a team and, help us to continue supporting the special needs community.
Thank you very much. We'll see you there.
Hi, I'm Isabella Hoffman.
I'm Atticus Baldwin, and we're walking for the Ed Asner Family Center.
Yes, we are.
We are walking for the Ed Asner Family Center.
We're walking for the Ed Asner Family Center.
Hi! Oh, hi! We're walking for the Ed Asner Family Center. I'm with it. Let's go! Come on!
Hi, I'm Ed Asner, and I want to thank you for walking for the Ed Asner Family Center.
Hey, welcome to Center at Home.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday, right?
It's Friday.
I know. I'm very excited
It's Friday.
because it's going to be a wild and crazy weekend for
It
us,
is.
right?
Well, we're gonna stay at home and we're gonna listen to illegal fireworks all day.
Yep.
And we're hoping that that doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, we were just talking about safety is number one.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just it. We're going to be safe. But you really can't go to the beach.
No.
You can't go and watch the fireworks.
No. Well, there are no fireworks.
Though I think there's going to be fireworks.
No, there's no fireworks displays that you can go to.
I have a friend who I won't name, and every year he used to order an enormous amount of fireworks.
Well,
And they would come to his house, and
Well, I
they would
think that's
do
legal.
fireworks. That's why I'm not naming who it is. But I can't imagine that this year it's not going to be 10 times more.
Well, I think you can actually get. I'm not advocating this, believe me, but I think you can probably get in your car and drive down to, like, I don't know, Orange County or something. And
Don't listen to
and
Matt
buy
Asner.
fireworks.
That's
But-
a really
But that's
bad
not what
idea.
I'm suggesting.
Mm-mm. Not
But
a
I
good
think
idea.
that's some people do that. I guess right.
I'm sure.
people?
I'm sure. I mean, Orange County is going to be very, very crowded tomorrow, and we aren't going to go.
No,
That's not going to be us.
we'll be home, being cozy.
It's going to be hot tomorrow.
We'll
But
be
we have
cozy.
the pool.
Yes.
I'm going to
We're
force
good.
you in the pool tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow I get in the pool.
I'm gonna
I
video
get in
it.
the pool tomorrow.
I'm going to video me
So-
like body slamming you in the pool.
Really, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
I would love that.
Yeah. So we have a great show today. We have first up we have Chelsea Darnell, who is going to talk to us about pop culture and all that
Yes.
kind of cool stuff that all the hip kids are talking about,
The hip cats.
the hip cats. And then we're going to have Valerie Vanaman on to discuss what the fall in terms of school might look like and what we can do to kind of prepare ourselves and maybe chat about that, see where that leads. Valerie is always interesting. She's very smart and she's always great to talk to. So I'm excited about that. And then we're going to talk to Dr. Gary about our situation and what's going on.
And it's changing by the minute,
And
isn't
it's
it?
changing by the minute.
Mhm.
California's going in the wrong direction. Texas is going in the wrong direction. Florida, a lot of states are going in the wrong direction, and it's very alarming and something that that we want to talk to Gary about. And he's on the front lines, and he's actually testing people every day. So he's got an interesting perspective and someone certainly that we should listen to. So we'll talk to him at the end of the show. And so why don't we bring Chelsea on?
Yes,
Got a jam-packed show. Let's bring Chelsea on. Chelsea, how are you?
Hi, Chels.
Where are you? You're in your backyard. You're hanging out in the
my
backyard. Very cool.
Chels, what are you guys going to do tomorrow for the 4th?
I actually have no idea.
Mhm.
But before I begin, that's why. So usually I do my movie chat on Saturdays. Tonight, this week's movie chat's actually going to be tonight because
smart.
we'll be celebrating, 4th of
Yeah.
July tomorrow and stuff like that. I don't
Oh,
know what
that's
I'm doing,
smart.
but I'm sure other people are doing stuff. So.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned movie chat because it is tonight. So
Yeah.
let's start with that. What are we supposed to watch and then talk about tonight?
Our movie for tonight, it's called The Game Plan. It was made
With
in
The Rock.
2007. Yeah, it's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Yeah. He plays a football player. It's a nice little family comedy, and that's what we'll be discussing for tonight's movie chat.
I love The Rock.
I like The Rock too.
He's so cute. He was in Moana. I loved him in Moana. I mean, I loved that they kind of made the cartoon look like him.
Well, the interesting thing I think about The Rock is he can take a really awful film and make it somewhat watchable.
Mm-hmm. Just
because
he's
have you ever seen The Tooth Fairy?
Mm-mm. I know of that movie.
Well, watch The Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
You'll see like there's a charming guy
stupid,
there.
but he's so cute.
There's a charming guy there who can like really kind of exude that off the screen and show you how charming he is. And the movie is just terrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's really bad.
Really, really bad. But what is it? The home game?
The Game Plan.
I'm sorry. I screwed everything up.
The Game Plan.
The Game Plan. And that's so that's tonight at what time?
7:00. So same time, different day than usual.
Okay.
Right.
And if people want to sign up for tonight's movie talk, they can still do that?
Yeah, so you just email Shelby at edasnerfamilycenter.org. That's who you email to RSVP, and she'll make sure that you're in for tonight. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we have our first question. Matt's going to ask people if they have any other questions, but we have our first question in our pop culture question of the day. And the question is, what do you think of Shane Dawson getting demonetized and his books dropped from Target? I actually know what this means.
I'll give you some context. So Shane Dawson, he's been a YouTuber since YouTube became a thing, essentially. Yeah. He's very popular until now. Basically, this is another Black Lives Matter related thing, in that there's been a lot of videos that have been dug up of him doing blackface, saying the N-word, and then a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, wow.
Enough to get him in trouble. So basically what happened is that YouTube demonetized him, which basically means they're not going to pay him for the videos he makes.
Right.
And then Target, he has like a couple of books, I guess, and Target will no longer be selling them. So that's the context of that story.
But Chelsea, tell Matt, because Wolfie talks about this guy all the time. Tell Matt how much money that dude made from his YouTube videos. It was crazy.
How much money did he make?
So I actually don't know the exact amount.
No, but I mean, I don't either. But
it's a lot of money.
Millions. It's millions.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely well off because of his YouTube career. I can definitely tell you that.
From YouTube.
He would post videos, and then he became so popular that YouTube was paying him per video. But then he also got all these endorsements too, because if he would show something in one of the videos, and I mean, that's how anybody.
Yeah, a lot of YouTubers use, like, they'll insert. It's in a way, it's no different than television. They basically do advertising.
Yes,
in their video.
And is this something that YouTube has done before? Have they?
Oh, many YouTubers have become successful this way. 100%.
No, I know that, but have they demonetized people before? Have they done that before?
Yes, there's a lot of reasons people can. I think they have definitely demonetized people before. I don't know if I've heard about anybody this big being demonetized.
What about the woman who adopted a baby from the baby from China? She was a big influencer on. She had a YouTube.
Oh, that couple, they rehomed the kid,
rehomed the child with autism, and they pulled the plug on all her YouTube stuff.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Wow. So. Now, it's interesting how close the word is to demonize, isn't it?
It is weirdly close, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just pulling that out of my hat. I just think it's kind of close. It's kind of interesting. So what's the next question?
Okay.
And by the way, if you guys at home have a question for Chelsea about anything pop culture,
We have our second question.
okay, well, we have our second question. But if you have a question at home, give it to us. Let's know what it is. Put it in the comments. We'll ask it. We'll ask it.
So this person is asking, what do you think? Oh, this is nuts. I hope this is not true, Chelsea, but it says, what do you think of fans starting GoFundMes for Kylie Jenner so she can get to her billionaire status again?
Is that true?
That's what
Was
it
she
says.
ever off of her billionaire status?
Yes, yes. They made a big balagan that like a few months ago they said that they put her on the cover of Fortune magazine as the first billionaire or the youngest billionaire or something. I
And
forget.
that knocked her out of the.
And they found out that her actual real worth was less than $1 billion. It was
Which
very
is
Oh,
exactly
really?
what I thought. I'm like, there's no way she's a billionaire. And if she's a billionaire, she's not a self-made billionaire. She did not get that money.
Well, I think that cosmetic company, though, really was a crazy. I mean, when you saw the numbers of their success rate, it went. I mean, they were showing each new product would sell out within hours.
Really?
Yeah.
I
But
mean, you're
by
talking
the
about
way,
worldwide.
bottom line, she doesn't need any more money. I think she's fine.
But I mean, I can't even accept that could be true. And
Was she close to $1 billion?
Yeah, she was close enough to $1 billion that these people are saying, "Look, we can all do this. Let's get Kylie to get that
Oh
step."
my God.
And I mean, when you think about like the people in the world who really are suffering and need help, I mean,
like a lot of people.
cancer research and things like that, and that
People who are losing their jobs right now.
right.
Yeah.
It's ludicrous. I mean, it really made me mad. I can't even believe that kids would do that. And we have to research
those
this.
darn kids.
I
Chelsea.
think they're doing it as a joke, but it's a really stupid joke if it is a joke.
But I mean, the only saving grace would be if she donated all of the proceeds to a deserving.
Oh, we should start a
organization.
petition on that. There we
Yeah,
go.
say, Kylie, the only way that you can redeem yourself is to donate all of it to the Ed Asner Family Center, right?
Right. Exactly. We have a pop question, a culture question here.
Okay.
It's by Sandra Israel, and the question is Surfwise a good movie for July 4th? LOL.
Oh, ha ha ha! Good one, Sander. No, it's not a good movie for 4th of July because there's too many F word, S word.
Well,
C
I mean,
words.
if you're not around kids, it's not bad. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it around kids.
Did you see that movie, Chelsea?
I never got to watching it. I know that when it came out, I was not allowed to watch it, and neither were
Well,
any
you
of
have
my classmates.
You have to watch it because Maxie's so little. Max is probably, I think he was about 5 when
Oh
we
my
filmed
God.
it. And he's so cute. And there's a lot of Beth Hallel in it. Anyway.
Is it,
It's
we
not-
have what last question?
Oh, yeah, we have one last question. This is a short one. Are you excited to be watching? Are you excited and are you going to watch Hamilton?
I don't know. I'm kind of neutral. I know people are super hyped about it going on
Yeah.
Disney Plus. I had the privilege of seeing it at the Pantages on stage, which is a really cool experience. I'm kind of one of those people, and I'm gonna get so much flack for this. Hamilton's fine. It's not my favorite musical. It's good, but it's not my favorite.
Well,
I feel the
I
same.
have a
I'm kind of-
confession to make.
I would not suffer if I didn't see
Yeah. I have a confession to make. I've actually never seen Hamilton,
it. Neither have I.
and that's the truth. And I'm a musical fan. I like musicals, but I've
Yeah.
never had the opportunity to see it. I never.
Because
I
it
guess.
sells out so quick.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I guess so. But I just never have seen it. But I did actually watch a little bit of it. Like they had some scenes
Trailer or
from
something.
on Good Morning
Mhm.
America or something. And I saw the first song that he sings, I Am Alexander Hamilton, or his intro or something like that.
Mm.
And I thought, wow, that's really great. I thought that's really, I love that.
But
That's
live, it would be
wonderful.
totally
So
different. I'm sure it'd be
I'd like to see
exciting
it.
live.
I'm excited.
It's interesting
I'm
because
gonna
I got the live experience and it was like cool. Like a lot of people were just their mind blown by the show. I am not among those people. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool show, but it's not my favorite musical. I kind of don't get the hype. I'm kind of glad the hype has died down a little bit because when it first came out to Broadway, I was like, I don't understand.
Well,
Right.
I think it's heating up again. It's hyping up again.
I remember
because it's
people
coming
were
on.
paying like a mint for tickets for Hamilton when it first came out.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting.
It's good.
It'll be interesting to see if they take it off after.
That's a funny.
After they show it.
I can't read that from here, but that is really funny.
Of course, my mom commented. Lin-Manuel Miranda is her celebrity crush. We all know that.
I'm more impressed by him knowing that he did all of the Moana songs because there's some beautiful songs in Moana.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic. Like, I'm not like a super uber Hamilton fan, but I love Lin-Manuel. I think he's great. Like,
yeah, me too. I thought he was great. I'm just as a person and watching his interviews, but I don't like that kind of like musical theater stuff. I don't know. I like more drama, like Phantom of the Opera.
See, that's what I'm
Miss
like.
Saigon.
That's what I'm like at home all the time. I'll just break into song and dance, and everything I do is about.
Chelsea doesn't want to hear that. Creepy guy.
What are you talking about? It's not creepy. That's just me. I'm a singer and a dancer, and I have to express myself that way. Yes.
You're one of the worst dancers I've ever seen in my entire life, actually.
Well,
seriously, I am
my
the
ballet
worst.
teacher in
1985
would probably agree
two.
with you, actually. So there we go. That's why I only took it for a year. So, well, Chelsea, so thank you.
And
once again.
Everyone, don't forget, tonight is movie chat, not tomorrow night. Tonight is movie chat, 7:00 with Chelsea and the Social Club.
Yep.
And how
in the game plan.
That's right. And the instructions on how to do that are on our Facebook page. Look for the movie chat situation, and then you can just find out there how to get in, because it's a Zoom thing, and we don't want anyone just getting
Zoom
in
bombers.
because we don't
No
want the
Zoom
Zoom bombers
bombers.
in. So
No.
we've had that happen before. So check it out. Movie chat. Chelsea.
Have a great 4th.
Thank you so much.
Same
We'll
to
talk
you.
soon. All right.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. So
That was awesome.
yeah, Chelsea.
I still can't get over that Kylie Jenner thing though. That's really that's just like it's kind of like the epitome of what's going on
kind
with
of what's
the
wrong
youth
with America.
of
isn't it?
America. I mean,
a little bit.
that they would do that. I'm hoping that we're gonna Google it later and it's not gonna be a true story, but it's so absurd that it might be true. That these kids are
I'm hoping
GoFunding.
that through this tough time that we're going through right now, through this kind of dark time that we're going through right now, maybe we can kind of reshuffle our priorities and say, this is important, this is not important. And maybe our priorities can shift a little bit, and we can see a difference as to what's important in life.
That was heavy.
Do you disagree?
No, I agree.
I
think just as the good and the bad, being forced to live with your spouse. I mean, you and I work together. We live together. We can't go to Hawaii as we usually do. I go to Hawaii by myself every year. And it's the
I've
good
been
and the
with you
bad.
twice.
Huh?
I've been with you twice.
Well, okay. But I'm just saying that there's so many positive aspects to what's happening as well that you can think of, because there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of fear.
But I do have to say there is a lot of fear, and there's a lot of anxiety, and it creates anxiety. And I think for a while, people were saying, okay, I can get through this. It's only 2 months.
Right. I agree. 100%.
It's only a little while. And now I think people are saying, oh, wait a second here. This is a little longer than I thought.
Is this my new norm? Is this what it's going to be like forever?
And it's difficult. And you look, you look down the road and you think this is massive, and it's you don't get any break from it. And
well, I think you look down the road and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds kind of morbid, but if there was any sign of like people actually taking things seriously and really, I mean, I just read an article before we came on and it said the main problem is people are forgetting how serious the coronavirus is. And and it's because of the time we've been doing what we've been doing for a long time, and it's life-changing for people.
So
people
what do
are
you think?
losing their jobs.
And this will be something that we can talk to Gary about too. I mean, do you think people are saying like, oh, well, I haven't gotten sick, so I'm going to just, not care about it? Is that?
Well, I'll tell you something, because I'm on all these moms groups, whenever people start to lose like their sense of caution, then some mom posts some story that just scares us so bad. I mean, I think people need the fear. The fear has its own purpose, is that, we need to keep our masks on. We need to be safe. We need to not go to the Vanilla Ice concert in Texas. We need to literally.
It wouldn't be the first place I'd go.
No, but they're going to do this concert.
But I mean, if I could go anywhere, it wouldn't be like the Vanilla Ice concert. I don't think I'd go there first.
Yeah, I would get on a plane and go to Hawaii myself.
But I think,
that.
Look, it's I think we all have to kind of just really get together on this and, move in a
and
positive
especially
direction.
because tomorrow is a very dangerous day. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's a very dangerous
barbecue day. It's
such a dangerous
family day.
And
it's a bunch of people getting together, party day.
People are so tired.
Mhm.
I'm so tired of being stuck with you 24 hours a day. I'm kidding.
Really? I think I'm kind of exciting to be with.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know
I'm
if I would
excited.
use the word
I'm excited
excited.
to be with you.
Well, I'm exciting. But anyway, be smart tomorrow. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not. It's not
Yeah.
worth it.
Be smart.
One little barbecue can change your life forever, and it's not worth it. That's my rant of the day.
So get into your social bubble, which we
Or
all
Zoom.
we'll have.
Remember when Krista was having her
Zoom,
Zoom
yeah.
little party
Yeah.
with her friend and her little glass of wine?
But do it smartly.
Yeah,
Do it smartly.
definitely.
So
Let's talk about the fall.
yes, we're going to talk about the fall. We're going to bring Valerie in a minute to talk about the fall and school and
Yeah.
how we get through this.
I don't know. I'm nervous.
And especially like people with IEPs, what we do, because I actually don't think, I don't think Will had his IEP at the end of the year. So it's like, what happens with that?
You don't know that?
He didn't.
You got to know that, HI.
No, he didn't. So we got to do it like, I guess soon or in the fall or something.
Wow.
Like that. Valerie, we'll talk about that offline. But I'm going to bring
Eddie's
Valerie
all
in.
set, so thank God for that.
We'll bring Valerie in and talk. So let's just bring her in now and we
Yeah.
can start talking about the fall. So Valerie, welcome to Center at
Thank
Home.
You all look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Well,
you look like whatever your excitement level is between the two of you, you're looking great.
well,
Aw.
thank you, and you look great too.
Well,
At least we're all healthy, and that's the most important
That's
part
right.
now.
And let's talk about this because I'm
and
sure.
by the way, I just have to comment on Hamilton.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I was in New York going to see it with the original cast on the only day it closed down because there was a massive snowstorm. And the mayor and the governor just closed the entire city, so they didn't go that day. When I got back to see it some months later, the original cast was gone.
Oh, no.
It is actually something worth seeing.
Yes.
It has an intrinsic value that you ought to watch. So that's
We're
my
gonna
comment on your earlier part. And
that's what we're going to do tomorrow for 4th of July.
We're gonna watch
We're going to force the kids and we're
Hamilton.
going to all watch it.
That's what we're going to do. When I was in, this is kind of not like Hamilton, but I had an interesting story about a Broadway show, but it was in England. It wasn't Broadway. It was Billy Elliot. And so I went to see Billy Elliot. And in the middle of the show, Billy Elliot got sick and just couldn't do the show anymore. And so they switched Billy Elliots in the middle of the show. And the first Billy Elliot was white. and the one they replaced him with was black, and it was fascinating
Oh, wow.
to see that change. It was very interesting. So
That's cool.
It was wild. So that was my kind of really cool live theater story. So Valerie.
Which is somewhat more fun to talk about than what we're about to talk about.
I know.
I know. So
Which is why we're avoiding talking about it.
So I think they're still talking about the possibility of teaching people in class in the fall. And I sit down and I look at that and I think, how in the world is that going to happen? You know, I mean, I like maybe at a school like that has 10 students that could maybe happen, but I don't see it happening in a public school. I certainly don't see it happening in LUSD. So what do you think we have to look forward to here?
I think there's actually two parts to the question. And I think we need to really start thinking as much about what I'm now calling the first part of the question as we do the second.
Mm-hmm.
And the first part of the question that I've been struck with over the last 72, 84 hours is the part that's being done and that people are writing about and talking about in terms of the opportunity of all of this. You know, we have to see some opportunity in the midst of all of this. The opportunity to really refocus the equity of education, to really look at what do we do to, in fact, get to that inclusive world of education where all children get to be the best that they can be. And there's a couple of pieces that have come out that people ought to know about. We're going to have it up on our website, probably not till Monday. But there's one piece that's being touted and is on the State Department of Education's website even as we speak, by some folks. It's a very thoughtful piece about having the concept of equity at our core. And what they talk about, the title of it is Preparing to Reopen, 6 Principles that Put Equity at the Core. And what the piece talks about is what an opportunity this is to really rethink, replan, how do we put equity at the core and really improve education? To its credit, the California State Department of Education came up in June. Unfortunately, I think it was written and came out before this recent uptick, but it's called Stronger Together. It's a guidebook for the state reopening of California's public schools. You can get it on the State Department Education website. But it also goes through an analysis that goes back to what many educators have said for some time, which is a need to involve the community in the planning, the need to have open communication. And most essentially with the folks that we're all concerned with, the need to really understand the family dynamic in terms of what may be their own hesitancy towards sending a child back to school, and how do you plan for all of that? Making the I in individualized education program go back to its original meaning, which is individualized. Because it is undoubtedly the case that in creative school districts, and I think there are some in Los Angeles County, in creative school districts, what we're going to see probably is some of the kinds of stuff they're doing up in Marin County, where they've opened up some classrooms for disabled kids, for the kids who are suffering the most in home instruction, and they are the ones suffering the most. They found a way to open up some classrooms for some limited number of students. And I think some of it is because the parents were essential workers, but nonetheless, there is a way to do it. And people are experimenting with that. And they're doing it.
Happening in Marin County?
It's someplace up north, yeah. And they're doing it with the cooperation of the families in the community. It's not a monolith educational institution sitting down and only talking to itself, but rather opening up the process to talk about how do we make this work. And I think as we go into this next school year, that's what's going to really become crucial, is that there be transparency, there be openness, there has to be a willingness on the part of the Board of Education, even if there's not a willingness in terms of its hired folk, but at the board levels, there has to be a willingness to listen to the creative people out there, the folks who know how to make effective use of technology that may be more than what their own people know. The people who know how to do stuff that make it creative. What we've got now, if you listened to Superintendent Buettner last week, he had a news conference, a webinar kind of thing that he did. And as I heard him, he was basically throwing up his hands and saying, I don't have the money to do contact testing, to do contact tracing, to do the testing. And until they give me money, I can't do anything. I fully acknowledge that money is an issue, but I hope we're not waiting for money and not devising a plan. This is any kind of a plan. We're getting no leadership really from the largest district that I can see, or anything that's public leadership from the largest district in the county. We haven't had anything out of the Los Angeles County Office of Education since the 27th of May. I think there are probably smaller school districts who are doing stuff that, you know, in the absence of local newspapers, we don't know a lot about probably, but we're not seeing a leadership position taken. If Buettner's press conference of last week was any indication, there doesn't seem to be any spark of creativity, and this is a massive major problem. Let's begin to think how we all work together to see what we can do with it. Look, I've watched LA Unified since 1974. I have a large historical span with LA Unified. The one cultural dimension of LA Unified that has not changed, regardless of who was on the board, who was the superintendent, regardless of the times, is that in times of crisis, threat, and uncertainty, it turns inward.
Yes.
It turns completely inward, and like nobody else should have anything to say or do. It's done that since 1974. In the greatest opportunity it's ever had to turn outward, to invite in the community, to invite in and to say, you know, we got chaos, that's okay. Let's talk about that chaos and how we begin to think about it and look at it.
Let's fix it.
Once again, it seems to be turning inward, and it talks only to itself. You know, there's a classic story about LA Unified that I love telling that is so indicative of this time. When Ivar Lovaas began to be at his heyday in the effective use of what's now called applied behavioral analysis, when they were doing the one-to-one behavioral intervention for young kids. And Ivar was going around the country and it was producing results and it was at its heyday. The question always was there as to how do you get that program effectively into a public school system? Instead of having to pay for it done individually at home. And Ivar was his own wonderfully unique human being, and his own eccentricities abounded. But nonetheless, Ivar was willing to go talk to LA Unified about volunteering with them to see how do we bring this applied behavior program into LA Unified. So I took him there. We met. Because he was from the outside, they turned him down. And I often wake up every now and then in the middle of the night when I think about things and say, what a difference it might have been had we pushed harder. But that's the problem. As we begin to look at what's going to happen, we need to be open. We need not to turn in on ourselves. We need to be open to looking at a whole range of people who have ideas, things that happen, and how can we, as this report says, How can we be stronger together?
Right. Stronger together.
Because that's what we need to do. One of the things we do know is when this first all hit on March 19th, which is really, I guess it was the 16th, but I think the 19th is the date. We all thought this was maybe going to just be through the end of this year and we'd be back in school by summer, and who knew? So there was not a big rush to redo IEPs. There was not a big rush to change things, because the notion that came out from the feds and from the state was, let's just be flexible.
Right.
Well, it does now appear that it is not going to be over all that soon. It's a question of being something more than flexible. And it is a situation in which I think we're going to have to look at the IEPs for every single kid. What LA Unified did was it only did IEPs for those kids who were making a transition period.
Right.
If you were transitioning from middle school to high school, elementary school to middle school, preschool to kindergarten, they tried to get those done. A lot of other kids didn't have their IEPs done. And so they're walking into this year with an old IEP for the old times. And we're going to have to look at each of those IEPs for the new times, because maybe there will be hybrid programs. Maybe, in fact, there are some kids who are going to be able to go and get some of the kind of one-to-one instruction that they can only get in person.
Right.
And we'll find a way that can be done. And then they'll spend some other time on the internet. Maybe there'll be kids who will go all day, but it'll look different. Maybe there'll be kids who, in fact, will be doing everything. But then that has to be adjusted. Those IEPs now need to be adjusted. So in fact, I think as this goes on, school districts, and particularly large school districts, are facing a major job, because, you know, and I think any parent, if we get to August 1st and it looks like we don't know where we're going, and that's so close. You know, I wish that the person passing as the president would be right on this one and it would all just disappear one day, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen all that soon.
No, unfortunately, that's not going to happen probably.
As we get to the first week in August, parents are going to have to start asking for IEP needs, because they're going to have to now start doing these IEPs and looking at what can be done, what can't be done. As you know, Los Angeles Unified took a very strong position that nothing could be done face-to-face, and it's continued to hold the line on that position. That's not the position taken from some other school districts, and they have allowed essential workers such as ABA workers, if they want to do it and the family wants them to come in, to go into the homes. There have been other districts who have been very effective in doing some speech and language and some OT over the Zoom. LA Unified has not been quite as effective in all those ways. And that may mean that we need to be looking at what's going to happen. How are we going to get some services built in here that are real services? It's a whole new world. And we need to be in it together. We will be stronger together. My hope would be that the larger school districts in the area will, you know, follow the very strong and rightfully so, justified words in this report that says, let's involve everybody, let's communicate, let's have it going. But I think realistically, I think best we're looking at is maybe getting some kids back in school come November or December.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. But I do hear there's a little bit of positivity in your voice, a tiny bit, and a little bit of hope. I think that maybe we'll move in the right direction, and maybe there's
you know, my hope comes from the fact that I need to be there, or otherwise, you know, what's the point? But also it comes from reading the stuff I just spent the morning reading before coming on. I said, let me brush up on this, let me read the most. And this notion that it's an opportunity to do what we were, you know, this law was passed with the notion I'll never forget folks sitting around in 1974 saying, within 2 years, everybody's going to be included and we're going to have these great programs and kids with disabilities are going to be moving on to college, etc.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen then. But this is a marvelous opportunity to really try and think about how do you make that happen. You know, one of the cartoon in this piece by the Preparing to Reopen 6 Principles of Equity, the cartoon they use, is that you may have seen, is the cartoon of the guy shoveling the steps for the non-disabled kids. And there's a ramp over to the left for the kid in the wheelchair. And he says, I'll clear the ramp as soon as I do it for the kids with the steps. And the kid in the wheelchair saying, but if you cleared the ramp, we could all get up.
Oh, wow.
You don't have to clean the steps because you
That's
do the
very
ramp.
true.
We're all up at the same time. And that, of course, is the whole notion of this, is that we can all get there together. We just have to find a way to do it and to make it work so that, in fact, we get disciplines who are talking to each other again. We get community of interest going. We make this work for everybody.
Yeah.
We know in special education, people, good special educators, and there are many of them around, good special educators know what it's like to welcome back a kid into a classroom who's had a raggedy experience, either through his own illness or a parent illness or something, and what that looks like in terms of reintegrating them.
Mm-hmm.
That level of experience and the knowledge of how to do that is going to be essential for every kid in this district.
Yes, 100%.
Because they're coming back traumatized, and without, you know, we're going to have in special education, you know, I know everybody's in special education, though our classrooms are full of uneven learning.
Mm-hmm.
Good special educators know how to handle that.
Yeah.
That is a valuable piece of information that needs to be transmitted to general education as we work on this together. And it's an opportunity to do that. You know, I have to be hopeful that someone will see that and see a way to make that happen.
Well, let us hope. And Valerie, the website is navlaw.com, right?
Yes.
And that people can go to the website and get that document that you just read.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's up there yet. It'll be Monday. I wouldn't go looking for it until Monday. We're making some changes, but it should be up there by Monday.
Okay, so
that's very important.
Website's on the screen,
and we can remind people on Monday to look again at the website.
Well, Valerie, this has been, as always, has been incredibly educational, and the words you speak are so important, and I thank you for being our guest.
Thank you so much, Valerie.
I'm happy to come back anytime you want to chat, because I like to see folks like yourselves looking so good, you know?
Well, we'll do that, and I hope we can go out and have a meal sometime.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a nice hope?
Yeah. But
stay safe.
Yes.
Stay safe this weekend, and we'll see you very soon.
Okay.
Thank you, Valerie.
Bye.
Thank you. Well, I think that
if people would listen to those wise words and, like she said, take the most needed, the kids who need the redirect, I know so many parents, especially kids who are need more support, who they can't do home learning. They can't, it's not working. And put those kids first, giving that opportunity for those kids, because those kids, because they've said that even if they have, different times and they're the hybrid model, but to put the first choice being those particular kids, I think that would make all the difference in the world for those parents who are.
I agree 100%.
I mean, I don't know how.
But I don't know how you figure that out. Seems to me like
a lottery or something.
I don't know. I mean,
because there are going to be other parents, if they said that Eddie could go back to school tomorrow, I know you would let Willie go back, but I don't think I would let Eddie go back to school tomorrow. I don't feel like people are ready to go. I don't think the safety
would say-
guidelines are there yet.
I would say I would look at each individual, like Valerie said, look at each individual and what their needs,
Well-
and you're not just educational needs.
No, I know that
but
because
social needs.
because Will misses school. He talks about it every day. He misses school. He really wants to go back.
But I think Eddie
the mental,
needs to be
the mental
around other
health
people too.
of people who want to be socialized is very important. Eddie would be so fine.
Well, but that's my
To be
point. But that's
homeschooled
my
and
point.
swimming every
But that's
day.
my point. That's not what's good for him. That's what mommy thinks is good for him. But that's not what's good for him. It's
I
not.
don't know about that.
It's not what's good for him. Come
Well,
on.
I don't know.
He needs to be around other people. He needs to be around his peers. He needs to be challenged by teachers and people who aren't his parents.
Mhm.
And he needs to be part of that. That's what he needs. And that's the truth.
But not if it's not safe.
Of course, we've got to be
I
safe.
wouldn't take
Everyone's
that.
got to be safe. Safety is essential.
But when you
and
talk
we're really, I think what this comes down to is we're really in a pickle. We're
We
really in
are,
a pickle.
because I think that when you tell kids that they all have to keep their masks on, it's eventually going to fail.
Well,
Kids are
I
not
don't know.
gonna keep
I
their
think
masks.
people will be trained into wearing masks. I don't think that's a big deal. I really do.
I don't think everyone can wear
I
a
got
mask.
mine right here.
I don't think that's the case. Some kids can't wear masks.
So take the time and start training them because they're going to have to wear
I've
masks.
been doing it. I've been doing it. But I know a lot of other
Eddie's been
parents.
wearing his mask.
I know a lot of other parents who say that it's just not working.
Well, this is a good segue because
Okay.
we've got the man with the plan here.
The
We've
man, that's a Stevie Wonder song.
got the man with the plan.
He's the man with the plan. You know that song, right?
Sing it again. I don't know.
He's trying to embarrass me.
Well, we have Dr. Gary coming in. Dr. Gary, how are you?
All right. How are you?
Hey.
You're always with the face mask and the doctor smock.
Yes.
And, the lab coat. Sorry, it's not a doctor smock. It's a lab coat.
You're gonna have not a continual, but like a permanent line. God love you.
It's gotten there. These are actually Tyvek suits.
Oh.
So it's all the way down.
Oh wow.
Wow. And so, Gary, I mean, we talk to you probably every other week, and it's like a roller coaster. This information that we have these days, not so good. California's got the highest coronavirus numbers they've had so far. Texas is out of control. Florida's out of control. A bunch of states are out of control. New York seems to be the only one that's kind of flattened the curve. And my honest feeling is, I don't think anything's going to happen positively until we start treating states like countries, and we start kind of dividing those lines. I don't know. We're in a free country, and it's a very interesting question. How do we handle this?
We were just talking, Gary, that tomorrow's 4th of July and Ventura beaches are closed, LA beaches are closed. And I know a lot of people, mostly, my surf friends, who are going to Orange County to surf tomorrow or to go to the beach tomorrow.
So we can travel 20 miles down the road and go to a beach that's open
and packed.
So what does that say?
Well, and that's the thing. I think that's happening everywhere, unfortunately, and it's pockets. And we've talked about that before. You're going to have these pockets of people who carry a high viral load and take it to other people. They'll go out into certain areas where it's wide open and then bring it back to your area. And that's what we saw here. And I said, I was telling everybody here and talking with our local hospital, it's going to happen in every community. And we're unfortunately getting hit with that right up the road. We just had 6 positive cases. I've seen 42 people today, and we've probably tested over 3/4 of those. And it's going to happen. It's going to keep moving. And again, we don't have a treatment. We don't have a vaccine yet, and not a great plan. I think Washington State put everything on hold, which was good. All these ones that moved into phase 3 or phase 2 of their plan have now had to sit. Yakima, which hospital is just inundated. Yakima County in that area is just terrible. They're still in phase 1, and he froze it there. So, if they can stop it in these certain areas, is it going to matter? That I don't know, because I think the people that are in those areas that are frozen are going to go to the areas that aren't, and just keep it going in a circle.
So, and it's funny because it's not funny, but it's interesting.
It's really not funny.
No, it's not funny. When I remember when New York was seeing the surge and they were dealing with this terrible situation, Andrew Cuomo made a pact with and they still have it with Connecticut and New Jersey, and they basically aligned themselves and they worked together, which is something that maybe California should look at, and other states should look at. We just don't seem to be working together.
Right. And Washington and Oregon have done that, and I think they had one other state. I'd have to look, but they were trying to do that, where they were making it where, okay, let's not cross borders, let's not do this, and trying to keep it under control. But again, I think you're having these small pockets that are going to carry it to big pockets. And I mean, we've gone to Walmart, the kids have gone to Walmart, and you look and you wear a mask, and 50% of the other people don't, or 50% of the other people don't really care. They're trying to walk in the store, and the person that's doing the security is saying, hey, you need to wear a mask. That's the state rule. And they look at them and they tell them, basically go wherever. And
we've all seen the videos.
And you don't do it. How do you stop this then?
Yes, exactly. They're not enforcing it.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think it's hard. I think it's hard because how is your Walmart employee or your Safeway employee supposed to stop somebody who's not following the rules? I mean, are they going to call the police on every single one? Mm-hmm. You'd be tied up forever. It's just got to be people as a community say, this is important. This is important for my family. This is important for my grandparents, my kids, and do it as a whole. Mm-hmm. And they have to take that responsibility. And I don't see it happening here. That's why it's gotten out of control in this county.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you have a state as big as California and as diverse as California, and I'm not talking about, in terms of race or class, I'm talking about in terms of thought. It's diverse in thought. You've got people at opposite ends of the spectrum in a matter of miles. How do you make that work?
Right.
And you just can't
enforce it.
It's got to be, it's got to be a very strong situation. So it'll be interesting to see.
It's got to be the people want to do it and look at it. And like you and I have talked about before, if it's not happening to you, it's not important. And that's why I'm seeing a lot of people react that way. And that's sad because, you are seeing the ones that pass away. You are seeing the ones that are really sick, that are on ventilators, that, come down with 104, 105 fever. And how does that make you feel when you're the one that may have caused that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very scary.
Gary, we're going to let you go back in because I know you got patience. So we thank you for joining us today, and we thank you for the update. And it's always interesting and always enlightening to talk to you. So I appreciate it. Thank you for what you're doing. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary. Navah, thank you again for the box.
Yay. Wear your shirts tomorrow.
We will be doing that.
Okay, Gary. Right. Take care.
Take care.
We love you,
Gary. Well,
I mean, it's so frustrating to us. Imagine how frustrating it is to Gary, who is, working 6, sometimes 7 days a week. He's mostly outside.
Yeah, no, he is outside.
No, I'm saying he's mostly outside where he checks people in.
Yeah, he treats his patients outside.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
And
I'm actually,
but he's saying this is so simple. If people would just do the right thing. I mean, the right thing is whether you believe in it or not, whether you think it's the easiest thing we can do, and it's not a big deal. Just wear your friggin' mask. I don't understand it.
Well,
I mean, it's not comfortable. I hate wearing masks.
I hate wearing masks, but I
really
do.
But
look, I mean,
there's no choice. It's like saying, I'm going to go outside without my pants. You have to put on pants, right?
Well, I guess we're trained into wearing pants. I guess.
So we have to be trained, like Valerie said. She said that was the old times. Now it's the new, and it made me think of like Mad Max or something. Because I mean, some of these like Armageddon movies, I feel like we're going into that. the old days before the masks. You know?
The
Yeah,
narrator.
it really
Wow.
feels like this is like, I don't know, like we're going into some future. I don't even want to think about it, but anyway.
Well, on that uplifting note, Navah,
Okay, tomorrow's 4th of July. Have fun with your family. Have fun with your immediate family, and be smart. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Be safe.
I have a graphic up on the screen,
Oh, what is that?
and it's a
poker chip.
poker chip, and we're having the Ed Asner Family Center poker tournament, the Ed Asner
Yes.
and Friends poker tournament, online this year, and
Yes.
it's going to be online August 29th. Go to our website or pokerwithed.com and check it out. We'd love to have
So
you play
much
with us.
fun.
We'd love to have you play with us.
So many celebrities, so much to do.
Great,
All in your pajamas.
great silent
What could be
auction
better?
or underwear, whatever, however you want to play. You can play in your underwear.
Yes.
And this is all going to be streamed and simulcast,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll get to see all the action, and it'll be lots of fun. Join us on August 29th.
And tomorrow is the Unity Walk.
Tomorrow's our Unity Walk.
Yes, so we're
Yes.
going to have some fun tomorrow.
So I hope
and-
you all kind of join that
Mm-hmm.
and start teams, and there's still time, and a lot of you have, and I appreciate it. And that's it. So we'll see you next week. Navah and Krista have a great sleep app guy that's coming on.
absolutely.
A guy
We're
that
really excited
has a
about
sleep app, and I can't remember the name of the app. Sorry,
it.
but we'll have it for you when they have a guest
Tuesday
on
at
Tuesday.
3:00.
And then we have tomorrow. We have arts and crafts with Aviva, and then Sunday we have
I just like watching you struggle.
Sunday we have yoga,
Yoga with Shauna on Sunday, and Monday is Music with Judy.
music with Judy, and then Tuesday we have Navah and Krissa, and then on Wednesday we have character drawing with Aviva, and then on Thursday we have fitness.
Fitness with Liz.
And then on Friday, we have Corona Kitchen, which we missed today, but it will be on later today on YouTube. So catch it on YouTube.
And
that's
don't forget we have very limited spaces left for our mini camp, which is starting on July 13th. We can only safely have 8 children per day. So I would say call in and write and get
Better
your
hurry.
space reserved. It's from 10 to 1, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's going to be amazing. And it's run by our 2 directors, Aviva and Judy. It's going to be really fun
And
safe.
yeah, and we're going to end with a promo that we have from Liberty Insurance Companies. We have an incredible partnership with them, and basically any person that buys insurance from them, we get 25% of the premium. The Ed Asner Family Center does. And so it's a great way of donating to the organization. We appreciate your donations. We live on your donations. We can't survive without them. Our programs run because of you doing things like that. So please, please, please check them out. And we're going to leave you with this. Keep your seatbelts on until next week. We'll see you then.
I thought seatbelt fashion.
Keep your seatbelts
Yeah.
fastened. Yeah.
Is that your tagline?
That's my tagline.
Okay.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
We know we ask a lot from our patron and support network, and we are always so grateful for your generosity. In these challenging times, it's even harder to raise the funding we need to serve our community and achieve our goals. So we're always looking for new ways to maintain our revenue without adding additional burdens to our supporters. Today, we're excited to share a great opportunity that can really help our community and requires no additional out-of-pocket from giving. We've partnered with the Liberty Company Insurance Brokers and their Liberty Cares program. Liberty Cares is simple. You already make monthly payments for your insurance needs, whether it's auto, home, or for your business. For every line of insurance you move to Liberty, they will donate 25% of the commissions they receive on your policies back to our cause. And under this special partnership arrangement, that donation will come to us again and again every year you keep your policy with Liberty. Often, you'll be able to move your insurance into this program simply by signing one form. It's that easy. The Liberty Company is one of the nation's largest insurance brokers and they've won a number of recognitions for their excellent operations and workplace culture, so you can rest assured that you will be well taken care of. If you would like to learn more about how this new partnership with Liberty can help turn your insurance dollars into much-needed funds for our community, please visit libertycompany.com/libertycares or shoot them an email at libertycares@libertycompany.com. And please be sure to let them know that you're part of our community so that they will credit the benefit of your policies back to our organization. Your ongoing support is much appreciated, so thank you in advance.